Joining us now is Carol Markowitz, New York Post columnist and host of the Carol Markowitz Show. Carol, thank you so much for coming on the program here. Historic, huge day. You used to live in New York. As an ex-New Yorker, what is your reaction to how New Yorkers are going to react at seeing the way that the justice system behaved here in the Donald Trump hush money case?
Well, very nice to see you. Thank you for having me on. It's hard to say because the New York that I grew up in, the New York that I knew so well, would have reacted one way. But the New York that I've seen since COVID, since 2020, is really something else entirely. I have to tell you, I actually saw Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago maybe 2 or 3 years ago now in South Florida, where we both live. And he said to me, he recognized me from my Post column and he said, "Can you believe New York forced us out?" And that's exactly what happened. It became a city of mean, angry, Karens who were just wanting to bend everything to their will. And this is sort of the latest example of that. I'm very disappointed in a New York jury finding him guilty. I would love to hear from the jurors or from regular New Yorkers. I tweeted this, but I'd love to hear from men on the street. What do they think? What is the crime that they think Trump committed here? It is so difficult to understand. I listen to legal minds all day trying to explain this, and it's a tough one. It's not so clear. It's not just, oh, he paid hush money. So I think that the fact is that this was a political persecution. It was absolutely aimed at harming Donald Trump's chances in this election. I don't know that will happen. It might. Anybody who says that they know how a presidential candidate being convicted of a felony is going to play out in the election is lying. So we'll have to see what happens from here. But it was absolutely politics based, and it's very unfortunate to watch my city become like that.
Well, yeah, look, I agree with you, Carol, as a former New Yorker myself. But the question, too, is, on these charges, I think the fact that Alvin Bragg let so many criminals out on the streets, essentially, and that New York has become this, incredibly unsafe place. We see the videos of it all the time. We see the headlines, and we see people prosecuted either for standing up for themselves or for other people, or in the Trump case for essentially the crime of, embarrassing Joe Biden. Surely people cannot buy that Alvin Bragg is not a political prosecutor.
Right. He didn't suddenly become very concerned about crime only when Donald Trump is concerned. It's exactly what you said. He's the type of prosecutor who does not prosecute crime, and yet he's found something to pin on Donald Trump, and he went for it. The fact that he succeeded again is very unfortunate. I think that we're going to see other prosecutions like this because, look, it doesn't only go one way. Obviously, Republicans are going to take the message that they should prosecute any Democrats who are, even borderline tied to any crime. So this is going to get into a tit for tat. I don't necessarily think that that's wrong either. I think that that's the way to end this kind of behavior, to show that both sides are capable of it. For a long time, only the Democrats have been.